Kaustubh is saying he wants to be an IAS officer and there is a huge burden of expectations and that is just draining away his life. Kaustubh, do you want to be an IAS officer or is it out of expectations of others? Please understand this. You are just beginning your second year of a BTech program. Have you really seen life? Do you really know what it means to be a bureaucrat? What makes you come to the conclusion that you must be an IAS officer? If it is the expectations of others, then you are condemning yourself to a lot of suffering. You see, I was born in a family of bureaucrats from both my mother's and father's side. And as Providence would have it, I was a topper, topped the state, stood All India third rank. When I cleared my class 10th exam and the results were declared and the NTSC results also came and I was an NTSC scholar, I was asked to choose. What do you want to do in class 11th? Now is the time to come to choose your stream. I was being brought up on a diet of these journals. Have you heard of Competition Success Review and all? CSR? They would carry the picture of the IAS topper on their cover page. And my house, it was always full of bureaucratic discussions and such things. Since class 5th, I had been reading the interviews of IAS toppers. After class 10th, I took up science only because I saw that the last 5-10 years toppers were all from IIT. So I said I'll go to IIT because IITians go to IAS. That was the kind of process through which I decided to go to IIT. All right, I went to IIT, prepared hard, and cleared the IAS entrance exam also. And then what do I see? The day I reached the training academy, I had cleared the CAT exam in the same year, so I had to take leave from Ahmedabad to go there. I reached late. By the time I reached, the rest of my cadre mates were already there. When I reached there, what do I see? I see that the reality is so very different. And this had been brewing. Even in the process of preparation, when I was reading for general studies, that's a paper in IAS exam. That used to be a paper in IAS exam. When I was reading for that paper, I came to know the real nature of the polity, of bureaucracy, of how governments operate, what is meant by a controlled economy, and such things. I reach there and I find things are very, very different. This is not what I thought. But that meant that more than an year of effort could have gone in some other direction. That meant that I had to go through a difficult process of choice. I asked myself, am I going to live to fulfill the expectations of others? My mother regrets even till this day that why did you leave that lal batti wali gaadi even after getting it? She is fascinated by power. बेटा आज कमिश्नर हो गया होता, कॉलेज कॉलेज घूमता है, छोकरों के साथ बैठता है, जिन्हें बातें समझ में भी नहीं आती. That's our assessment of my position today. कि कहीं कमिश्नर साहब बन के घूम रहे होते और अभी इन छोकरों के साथ बैठा रहता है जिन्हें बातें समझ में भी नहीं आती. These are her words. But I have also seen the fate of those who have lived to fulfill expectations. I have seen my batchmates. I used to be proud of them. Radiant, superbly talented, gifted. And what did they do? They worked to fulfill expectations. They married to fulfill expectations. They are living to fulfill expectations, and they are dead today, absolutely dead. I look at them and I ask, is this the same cheerful boy that was there in the campus? That boy is dead. We have a dull, weary, bored man who has no energy, no enthusiasm left. I might not have fulfilled expectations, but I have done a lot of good to many others. And remember, when you say that you want to fulfill expectations, you want to fulfill expectations of a loved one, right? Someone you say you are in a healthy relationship with. If you want to give joy to someone you love, you must first have joy, right? If you yourself are not joyful, you will only give bitterness to everybody around. Why does one rush towards a government job? For the sake of security, for the sake of name, for the sake of power. These appear big sitting where you are sitting. But you cannot live on these. You will feel supremely frustrated. Work is life. You spend 10 hours, 14 hours a day working. If you choose a field that is not really your calling, then you are condemning yourself to a life of torture. 6 hours, 8 hours you sleep. 2 hours, 3 hours eating and other miscellaneous activities. The rest of the time you are just working. Work is practically 100% of life. Do not choose your vocation out of expectations. Nobody will be happy. You will not be happy, and those who are advising you, even they will not be happy. Nobody will be happy. You know, there is this leadership course that I teach, and that looks at really, really successful people and what made them successful. Case studies of the most famous CEOs and also little known entrepreneurs, all kinds. One of the case studies is of Richard Branson, the owner of the Virgin brand. Have you heard of him? Virgin Records, Virgin Airlines. When he last came to India, he made a beautiful statement. He said, he was asked, how did you start off with this? How did you generate such a great business on your own? He said, if you love to fly kites, then fly kites with all your energy and love. Do not bother about what will happen next. Money will come on its own. But then you should attain near perfection in flying kites. Give yourself to it. All of you will soon be confronted with the question of a livelihood. Which direction to go? Some of you will go for higher studies. Some will have to decide between a software job and a core job. If your decision is coming from miscellaneous pressures and expectations, too bad, just too bad. Find out what is it that you can do even without money. That's the trick. Can I do something even if I am not paid for it? If you can find such a thing, that ought to be your work. I'm repeating. Can there be something that I can do even if nobody pays me for it? Can there be something so deeply satisfying that I'm prepared to pay money to do it? If there can be such a thing, that is my calling. And remember, calling is not a job. That is my life work. My life work. Find that out. That is what will make life worth living. Not by choosing this and that. Everybody is writing, how many people write the civil services prelims exam? 10 lakh. How can 10 lakh people have the same calling? It's like saying 10 lakh people have the same girlfriend. How is that possible? One company comes to the campus and the entire fourth year runs to apply to it. How is that possible? What are you doing? Have you ever tried to find out who you really are? Because from that answer will emerge another answer. What should I do? Where should I go? That's an important question, right? For any young man, it's an important question. What should I do? In which direction should I go? You can get the answer to that question only when you first ask yourself, who am I? What am I trying to be? What am I pretending to be? Am I just a son? If you are a son, then all you will do is fulfill the expectations of parents. Who am I? An unemployed man searching for a job. If you are that, an unemployed man searching for a job, then you will go for whatever employment you get. Who am I? And make these decisions extremely wisely. I am cautioning you. I come to campuses and I see cheerful people. I see them walking around, chirping, light. And 3-4 years later, when they are in their jobs, and you look at them, and you ask, dead? So very dead? Here you smile on little things, here you want to crack jokes all the time. Where do those jokes disappear? Where do they go? They get crushed under the pressure of expectations. And jobs are jobs. Worst is when you marry under pressure of expectations. That is soul sapping. That is entirely soul sapping. Do not do that. Live a little freely. Only then life is a celebration. All right?